All right. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Dave, and this is Save America Vote for Tulsi Gabbard. A couple of things. Tulsi Gabbard is in New Hampshire, and she's going to be making the rounds up there. You want to go to her website, tulsi2020.com, or also check out presidenttulsigabbard.org for information on Tulsi and her whereabouts. We're getting into some key days here because here's here's another issue which is now starting to be a concern for me, is that not only does Tulsi need 65,000 donors, which I think she's like over 70,000 now, she also needs to figure at 1% in the polls, and there are certain polls that, according to the Democratic Party, she needs to be at 1% in. And from what I was told yesterday, there's one poll where she's not showing up. So, you know, it's just, I cannot fathom the idea that she won't be on the debate stage because of that technicality. And you may say, well, if she's not polling at 1%, she doesn't deserve to be in debates, blah, blah, blah. Well, she's got this grassroots army out here, and her, the level or the amount of the contributions going to her, like the increments, prove that she's got a grassroots campaign, much like Bernie Sanders, much like Mike Gravel. By the way, if we can get Mike Gravel into the debates, that would be awesome. But there's a high likelihood Mike Gravel won't be in the debates because he's not going to poll. If Tulsi's not polling, then Gravel is probably not going to poll. Most of Gravel's support comes from Bernie and Tulsi people that want to see another anti-war voice on the stage. So that's going to get tricky. Put your eggs in the Tulsi basket. If you're answering a phone call, as much as I want Mike Gravel to be in the debate, I would say, hey, I support Tulsi Gabbard. And Mike is going to have to figure out how to get individual support. His message is needed, but like I say, I want to see Tulsi Gabbard on that stage, because if for some reason she is not on the stage, the media is going to marginalize her, and her campaign at that point will effectively be over. I hate to say it, but we're just talking truth here, and I want to see Tulsi on the stage. So that is an interesting development, and it's not a good one. And it's really par for the course right now because people are commenting online. You have this, and I read a commentary today, which is interesting because it brings in kind of like a sexism allegation here, and you've got a woman of color. Now, Tulsi is not, she's mixed race, so it's this identity politics stuff really makes me nervous. And again, I'm more of a conservative on those issues, and I'm a merit-based person. I don't look at somebody's skin color and go, we need to make sure this person gets to this place because they check all these different boxes. I'm a guy who says if they're qualified, and the fact that I went right for the woman who, by the way, is also a Hindu, which apparently drives some people crazy, and I'm just sitting here going, are you listening to her talk, though? Do you really care that much about her religion? And are you really a sexist? Do you really think she can't do this because she's a woman? Because she's a major right now in the Army National Guard, and I'm just floored by the logic that might be out there. And it's probably, again, more in those meetings that are going on where Pete Buttigieg is present along with Nancy Pelosi and the usual suspects, all trying to figure out how to stop Bernie Sanders. He's in the lead. By the way, this sounds like, the beginning of the Never Bernie movement. We had the Never Trump, or we'll call it the Never Sanders movement. That's what it sounds like. I recall the Never Trumpers because at the time I was looking at them. They were all a bunch of corporatists. The people who loved Ted Cruz because Ted Cruz could walk on water. There is some really sick stuff going on. God ordained Ted Cruz and this evil Donald Trump and so forth. Now, of course, we find out that Trump and Cruz are kind of interchangeable when it comes to foreign policy and domestic policy. And Trump, I thought, was a populist outsider, but he's been co-opted. I am, of course, worried about the deep state just corrupting everybody. The person I think who has the best chance to stand up to the deep state is Tulsi Gabbard, by far. If she can't do it, then we need to blow up the system. And I'm not getting demonetized because I'm not monetized right now. And when I say blow up the system, I don't mean, literally blowing it up. I mean, we need to go hardcore third party or something, and we need to start from the ground up, and it needs to be a complete populist thing from coast to coast, left, right, center, whoever wants to be a part of it. You've got to realize at this point that you got your little wedge or pet peeve issue that you hold on to. I've already told you what mine is. It's on a shelf right now because it's not as important as fixing so many broken systems that are currently in need of repair. And Tulsi Gabbard is the person that can get the ball rolling. I think it will take probably 3 administrations to start to turn the ship around and to purge and to... It's not going to happen overnight. I mean, this is a super entrenched system that honestly I fear it's just swallowing, gobbling up everything. I mean, the military budget is just insane, and it keeps going up. And by the way, the corporatist Democrats, $20 billion or something less is what they're proposing. Trump's probably going to go on he'll probably go in on that because it's still just an incredible amount of money, and there's no end. The war machine, there's no end in sight. And I know a lot of people who are just walking the streets just think America is great, America's fine. And in their daily sphere of just dealing locally with the things that they have to deal with, there are a lot of good things in the world. I'm not saying it's all going to hell in handbasket, but overall, like in the future, down the road, and not too far down the road, what we're doing to the planet, what we're doing to people, what we're doing to other countries, it's not sustainable. It's just not sustainable. We cannot keep going down those roads. And unless we at least stop the damn car, we're going to keep... The momentum is going to carry us forward. And, all the people flocking over to see Mayor Pete. I like how he even has a nickname, Mayor Pete. As if we have to kind of make him all catchy and he's just Mayor Pete now. Not Surfer Tulsi or anything like that. I mean, talk about a cool, hip candidate. Tulsi Gabbard. She surfs. She's from Hawaii, great state, She's got this zen, sort of grounded, you talk to her and you just think everything's going to be okay. I think of like a Bob Marley song. Every little thing's going to be all right, But everybody else is just politics as usual. I think Bernie is a good politician, and I think he's a good second choice for me at this point. He's made tremendous inroads into areas that people thought... Like I said, the pendulum has almost swung all the way around, where a lot of conservatives, Ann Coulter comes to mind. Now, I know she's just a bomb thrower and, she's reckless and has said some real nasty things about immigrants, about all kinds of different people. But the fact that she said, I would work for you, I mean, talk about... You'd peel off. And her mission right now, I think, because Trump has betrayed most of the things that she cares about, her mission is to defeat Trump now. And I think she could affect that if, I don't think Bernie's going to hardline his immigration status, but I think if he sat down in a room with her and said, hey, I do want border security, I just want a more humane approach to it, that's all he's got to say. And that's what he has effectively said at town halls when people see there's extremes on both ends. There's extremes of open borders, bring them all in, no verification, no documentation, that kind of thing. Just let's keep doing that, which is wrong on many levels. It's not fair to anybody to do that, and I don't think Bernie's not for that, from what I've heard. So culture just needs to understand that you have to be able to communicate to everybody in the country that you're not just anti-immigrant and hate immigrants. It's the way you talk to people. It's the way you phrase things. It's called diplomacy. That's why Tulsi Gabbard is the best, because she does not come off as partisan or offensive or tone deaf. All of these things that Trump is. It's just and at times most other politicians stray into that area. But this whole thing about polling, and I'll wrap this up soon here. We really are just beholden now to polling organizations. Can you believe this? And we know, the last election kind of proves that polling organizations are mostly a crock. They don't ask the right people. I watched a video that Jordan from Status Quo did about polling and who they poll, and even the Bernie numbers, which are good, they're polling a bunch of old folks. They're not polling younger people at all. They're calling people with landlines. Hello, I don't have a landline anymore. I wish at times I did, but I don't. I just have my damn phone, which I spend way too much time with. So we are in a battle, and as Tulsi Gabbard has said on numerous occasions, that we shouldn't be naive to the challenge that is before us. So if you're in New Hampshire today, go up and see Tulsi, say hi, tell her Dave from Save America says aloha, and just keep fighting the good fight. That's all we can do. And if anyone calls you, make sure you're saying Tulsi. I want Mike Gravel in the debates, but Tulsi first. America first and Tulsi first. All right. Talk to you soon.